So, that was important for me to rediscover that stuff, and know that it wasn't what the critics said it was. And remember why, and obviously, with these guys now in the band, it's like, this is what, playing off each other, writing songs together, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do with my life.
Do you think you had to go through that period, though, of kind of, denying, not denying it, not wanting anything to do with that early period?
No, I didn't have to do it. I think I was just kind of frightened of facing it, as I say, because so much negative stuff was said about it. And, I think when the three of us came back with Notorious, and it made it so much harder, and people were so quick to drop us, whether they were radio stations or, or whatever, and kind of attempt to sweep us under the carpet really, really quickly and say, well, thank God they're finished, And it's like, wow, was what we did that worthless, And, maybe it was. Maybe it was. So, we'll forget about that stuff and just move on, and that's created the new kind of, new determination, because you have to set, when I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to play Madison Square Gardens. I mean, that was a goal. And when I did that, it takes you a little while to figure out your next goal, And you've got to have them because, without them, you kind of faff around a little. You've got no purpose.
Do they have to be that specific, or for you now?
No, they could be. I want to be married. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want a car. Whatever.
I'm glad you mentioned it. So are you happy being single still at the moment, or?
Yeah. Forever single.
Even Hefner gave in.
I feel it would be like. I don't believe in it. I think it belongs to another age. I think it's like. I have feelings, but I don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah. I mean, you've been through relationships that were, for all purposes, like marriages, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never robbed any woman of her surname.
And plus, you're an uncle twice now, I guess, in a sense. These two little girls.
Yeah. But that's pretty fabulous.
So, in terms of just, once again, personally, you wouldn't say that you've necessarily mellowed, but just.
No, I think I was always kind of mellowed. I don't know. What does that mean?
Calm down. I don't know. Settle down.
No, I haven't settled down. I mean, I'm more transient than ever, and I'm excited. I get excited by the same things. I've got the same perversions.
Do What I Do turned out to be a one-off thing. Yeah. Any interest at all in doing more outside sort of things?
Not at the moment. No. I'd like to do a Broadway musical based on The Fountainhead, actually. But I'd like to do something very far out. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have done that. It was an exercise. I mean, sometimes work is like being at school, and you have to set yourself little tasks. Because that just break with the norm. And to do my own single and direct the video for it was just something that I did, and it doesn't matter to me whether I ever hear it or see it again. It doesn't matter, but I know in the back of my mind that I could do it, and it was all right.
It's a nice film to see again and again.
No, not anymore. I don't think it's stood the test of time. Yeah. I think it looks far too stylized.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we are one of the people in the news department is doing a piece on soundtracks. What makes a good soundtrack? What makes good music for a soundtrack? And let me ask you: is there anything in particular that you think is a challenge unique to writing for film, or what you think makes good music for film?
Well, it's very. I think, first of all, you have to forget the idea of personal expression, and you're really express. You have to. You become a kind of the ears and the voice of the musical voice of the director, and it's really up to the director, in a sense, to imbue in the writer exactly what he's feeling is right. And I don't like a lot of contemporary. I mean, I like Danny Elfman, actually. I kind of like what he does. I think he's a really clever man. But in a sense, it's very postmodern. I think, what he does. It's I like Jürgen Neiper, who does Tim Wenders. Mm-hmm. And I love I love Lykuda in Paris, Texas. Occasionally, you just get the right. But it's really down to the director, I think, most of it,
But as far as pop music, working in,
I think that's a bit of a sham, that whole thing, actually. I buy, you go and see Pretty Woman and you buy the soundtrack and there's maybe 4 songs off the soundtrack that are actually in the movie. And I tend to think that directors cheapen the movie a lot by placing songs, there's 2 easy ways to cheapen a movie. One's to either have Pepsi or Coke in the first 5 minutes, a rock song that really, I don't know. I thought Batman was a terrific disappointment, because the songs on that, they came from heaven, something like The Future, and the song was buried in the mix, and I really expected for the movie to open and that beat just throbbing through, and they didn't use it like that. They just used it really cheaply. I don't think, when people do use rock music in movies, they don't make the best of it. I don't know. I suppose it's something I'd like to do. I like Saturday Night Fever. I think that's one of the best uses of music and visuals. They give to one another all the time. Maybe that's some music.
A couple more final things that are just for special projects that people want me to ask you about. For our style show, the House of Style, which is this, I don't know if Cindy Crawford hosts this, it's a sort of quarterly show. And they're doing a piece on shoes in particular. Uh-huh. And they wanted to see if you could talk about what kind of shoes you've liked over the years, anything you really liked, and particularly what you're wearing today.
I really like Chelsea boots, actually. Mm-hmm. I like Cuban heels best, but I'm 6'2", and most of the time I don't want to really stand out anymore in a crowd than I absolutely have to. So I've kind of reduced to wearing Converse, just like the rest of the world. And also, with 3 5'6" in the band, I have to help them out a little bit.
Right. Right. So it's pretty much been flat shoes over the years.
Yeah. Only lately. This is how much I'm compromising in the group structure.
Another thing for that same show they're doing is actually I asked this of Simon. He had to go get his little bag, but basically they're asking people to empty their pockets, whatever they're carrying at the moment, and talk about what they've got.
3/4. Yep, 3/4 and a dime, and a pair of sunglasses, artist's staple.